Hello everyone and welcome to syntaxsperes. In this video, we will be teaching you how to create a Git repository and push your files into that repository. So first of all, let's quickly create our folder which we want to push into the GitHub. So we'll create a new folder. Let's suppose the name is new, and we'll open it in VS Code. So for opening in VS Code, you can write cmd here and write code space full stop, and it will automatically open VS Code. And in VS Code, let's create a sample code which we need to push into our repository. So let's create an index.html, and in index.html, let's add some sample code like h1 tag hello. So suppose you want to push this code into your GitHub repository. So first of all, we'll create a GitHub repository. For that, we'll go to github.com. So we are here on the github.com, and if you don't have an account on github.com, make sure to create an account. I already have an account, so I'll create a new repository. So first of all, for creating a new repository, click on the new button, and here it is asking for a name. So let's give the name syntaxsperes. So the name is available, and we'll keep the repository public, and we won't need to add a readme file, so we'll keep it unchecked and click on create repository. After the repository is created, Git automatically provides you the commands how to initialize your Git repository. So it is telling to write echo #syntaxsperes readme.md. Basically what this command does is creates a file called readme.md, and echoes means writes this syntaxsperes into that file. So since we already have created a file for our GitHub index.html in our VS Code, we won't need to follow this step. We'll start with this step, git init. Git init means initializing a Git repository. So we'll quickly go to the VS Code and open a terminal. So in terminal, click on new terminal, and our new terminal is open. So we'll write the command git init. Also make sure to install Git. Make sure to install Git before writing this command. So for installing it, you can simply type install Git, and this is the link. You can download for Mac OS, Windows or Linux. And after installing Git, you can follow the following procedure. So we have written git init. So you can notice that this has changed its color to green, which means we have initialized an empty Git repository, and this file has not yet been pushed into our repository. So what are the steps to push our file into the repository will follow next. So you can follow this. It has written git add readme.md. So basically what it is doing is adding the file called readme.md. But since we don't have any readme.md in our file, we can use git add index.html. So what it does is, whatever file you have, index.html, it will add that file. So we type git add index.html and click on enter. So the file has been added, but it has not been uploaded yet. Still, our repository is empty, because for uploading the file onto our GitHub, we need to pass the push command. It is the last command. So before that, we will have to connect our VS Code to our Git repository. So for connecting our VS Code, we'll follow the following steps. So since we have done this git add step, now we have to add a commit message. So a commit message is basically telling whatever you are going to do. Means suppose I am adding the index.html file, so I will write git commit. This -m means message, and the message will be adding index file. So the message can be anything. Whatever you are doing, just for clarity purpose, you can write whatever you are doing, like we are adding the index.html file here, so we'll write adding index file. So git commit, so it has initialized the commit, and one file change, 11 insertions. These 11 insertions are these 11 lines. So still our code is not there on GitHub because we have not connected yet. So this command will follow with this command. This command means git branch, changing the branch. So by default git provides the master branch, but if you want to change your branch to main, so you will write git branch hyphen capital M main. So what it will do is changes its branch to main, and you can view whatever is happening using git status. So git status tells that on branch main nothing to commit, working to clean, because we have not yet connected yet. So this is the main command to connect our git repository to our VS Code. So we'll copy this command and paste it here. So now our GitHub repository is connected to our VS Code. Now we just need to push our files. So before pushing, we'll check the status. Nothing to commit. Okay, so for pushing, this is the command git push -u origin main. So we'll write this. See, it has created the files and pushed it. So now if we refresh our GitHub, what you will see is that index.html has been pushed onto our GitHub, and this is the same file. Hello is there, h1 tag hello, and we also have it here. So we have successfully pushed a file, our folder, into the GitHub. Now what to do if you want to add more files? Suppose we have a script.js. Suppose there is some script like console.log subscribe to syntaxsperes. Suppose you also have a script.js. See, it is showing u, means untracked. It has not been pushed yet. So what? And suppose you also have an CSS file like style.css, and suppose it is empty. So these two files have not yet been pushed into our GitHub. So what we'll do is open the terminal, and now we won't need to follow all those steps which we did earlier, because those steps were for creating the connecting the GitHub with our VS Code. So now we just need to follow 3 steps, and those 3 steps are add, commit, and push. Just remember these 3 steps and you will be good to go. So add, commit, and push are the 3 steps which we need to remember. So first we'll use add. So git add. So last time we wrote git add index.html, but this time we have 2 files to push. So we won't need to write the file names again and again. We can simply use git add dot. This dot means add whatever untracked files are there. So see, if we write git add dot and see the status, script.js and style.css both have been added. So these are in now index added state, that they have been added to the Git but not been pushed yet. So now we need to follow the second step, which is commit. So commit means adding a commit message. So git commit -m, and now you can add the message. Like, the message should be clear so that other people can understand. So you can keep the message like added JS and CSS files. So see the thing, 2 files have changed and 4 insertions. 4 insertions means 3 lines here and one line here. So these have been added now. Now we just need to push. So write git push. See, so the files have been pushed into our repository, and if you refresh it here, see script.css and style.css, script.js and style.css have been added. Now you don't need to write the commands again and again. Suppose you change something in style.css, like you added h1 color blue. So you don't need to write these commands again and again. You can also use the command line interface. You can also use the graphical user interface, which is given in the VS Code. See, it all automatically tracks the changes, like changes have happened to style.css, these 3 lines, it is showing green. Now you can directly write the commit message here, like changed CSS file content, and click on commit. Now you can click on sync changes, and it will automatically push your changes onto your GitHub. And now you can see, if you refresh, here is the commit message. The latest commit message is shown on the top, and if you open the style.css, you can see the h1 color blue has appeared. So this was how you can initialize a repository and add your files through VS Code terminal and through VS Code graphical user interface onto your GitHub. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe, like and share.